Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sweet Space, and it is your host, Noah here, and I have some important announcements to make before we get on with the episode. First of all, thanks for coming on again, Andrew P. He's been around for a couple of the previous episodes. Um, Now, let's get on to some of the more important stuff. Not that Andrew isn't important, of course, but namely, this is actually the start of season 2 of the Sweet Space podcast, which is arbitrary, but I'm doing it anyway. And I'm doing it because this is actually the first anniversary of when we recorded the first ever episode of the Sweet Space podcast with my friend Conrad Strauss Sargent. That was the penis synonym ranking episode, which I don't think I'm ever going to top that. I think it's the opposite of Adam Sandler's filmography if you think about it, because according to the Schaefer List ranking, his worst ever movie was the first one he made, whereas I think we can reasonably assert that my best episode of this podcast was definitely the penis synonym ranking one. But we still plan on making some good episodes for you guys. And as we move into season 2, starting with this episode here on lovely, lovely Valentine's Day, I would like to announce that I am finally going to actually try and edit these things. It's a little bit more work on my part, but there's no real reason not to do it. So, I'm going to get off my ass. And I'm actually going to start editing these things. Not a whole lot, to be fair, but enough to make them qualify as a not as unprofessional podcast. I hesitate to say professional. Let's not toe the line too much here. Let's not push up against the line too much. Okay, you can't ask that much of me. With that being said, hope you guys enjoy the episode. And let's get right into it. And we are on.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to my video on my podcast on my channel.
This is true.
Today,
actually,
we're going to be doing a YouTube rabbit hole.
I sold
our friend here has
Andrew the channel.
Our friend here has graciously provided us with a wiki rabbit hole foundational website machine that we can go down and select to our heart's content. And we're going to go on a magical, mystical, wonderful journey.
It's wonderful stuff. I not only did I sell Andrew the channel, I actually sold him the channel back in time so that he always owned it.
It's true. We got a patent on it. The copyright has a number of digits that goes beyond the page. It's like copyright 9999, and it goes off the page, but my lawyers assure me it still counts.
Who else? Who else is in this group of people who have ownership of the channel? You said we.
No, it's just me. It's me and my extended family.
Me and my extended family. I mean,
just in case. In the event of my death, my will goes to them, so they get ownership of the site. So someone, a foreign power can't poison and destroy me and then take it from me.
Yes, this channel is of vast geopolitical concern in every possible regard.
He who controls the rabbit holes controls the universe.
That many a great person has said this.
Yep.
Yeah. You just have a contract that says you own it that's so long that nobody can actually read it. So when people look at the contract, you shove it in their face and you're like, show me where in this contract it says I don't own this channel. You can't. Because you'd have to read the entire thing.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot doing that.
It's a common party trick.
Yeah. It's like a universal filibuster. As they're wasting time going through this 5,000-page document, you're giving them the runaround. You're snooping through all their laws and just cutting through all the bullshit, doing whatever you want, because they can't indict you yet. They still have to finish the whole thing.
Exactly.
And then by the time they actually do finish it, it's like 50 years later, and you're probably dead or overseas, or both.
Dead or overseas.
Yeah.
Which way, Western man?
Yeah. Well, no, you can do both, though. That's the thing. You can be dead and both. Overseas, so it's not really it's pick your poison, Western man.
Pick your poison, Western man. I mean, I don't feel like being overseas is necessarily a bad thing, because you could be in a better place overseas.
That's true. I mean, you could be in a better place dead too.
I mean, you'd have to have a really fucking shitty life for that to be true.
Yeah, well, some people have a really fucking shitty life.
I know. It's an unfortunate fact. It's a disturbing fact.
Wow. Real if true, real and true. Many people once in the past got together into a gigantic gathering and said this in unison and then departed and never spoke to each other again.
It was a ritual.
It was. It was
Yeah, but
historic.
we're gonna be going down some Wikipedia rabbit holes and just looking at them. And I think we're gonna start with there's a lot of interesting ones here. List okay. List of heresies
List
in
of
the Catholic
heresies in the
Church is a
Catholic
really
Church.
good one.
Yeah. I'm sure that one's pretty long, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we don't have to go through the entire like list though. We just have to look at some of the entries.
Feral child.
Feral
Yeah, I
child.
can guess what that one is actually, because there's all these stories about the kids being raised by wolves and stuff.
Feral child is when they get a whiff of the Wonka diesel.
No, they do turn feral when that happens. They can't get enough of the stuff. I mean, they'll go right up to the trucks. They'll suck on the exhaust pipes and everything.
It's just that good.
It's nasty business. It's that good, yeah. Well, that's what they think. You know, the adults tend to get sick a lot faster, so they tend to bugger off. But the children, they got a bit of a supernatural fortitude, so they get
For
a whiff
those
of
who
that
don't
Wonka
know,
diesel. They go for the source.
for those who
They
don't know
actually,
this, there was like another there was another voice chat where Andrew and a couple of his other friends came up with this concept where like Willy Wonka is selling like candy diesel fumes from like his company trucks, and the children are just addicted to it. So they just chase after like rabid animals every time the trucks are like going anywhere on the road because they want a whiff of that Wonka diesel.
I think what they do as well is they've started to get smarter about it, and they've invented these really long straws that they can put in the exhaust pipe of the car, way in there, and suck it out. So if you're not careful, the children, if your truck is parked there for long enough, they take these essentially
Yeah.
silly straws, and they put them in, and they suck all the fuel out, and your truck can't even move. And then it's over. They just swarm it. It's like ants.
Oh, absolutely.
Sometimes the driver, he
Yeah.
disappears beneath the swarm, and he doesn't resurface when it disperses.
He goes
It's like a
overseas.
cartoon. It's like he goes overseas, either overseas or dead. Schrodinger scenario. We don't know which one.
We
We
don't
haven't
know
found
which
a
one.
body.
We haven't found a body. It's because the kids leave nothing behind. They get
Yeah.
so deluded they think everything is Wonka Diesel and they just go for it
Well,
all the same.
they still need protein when they can get it. So if they
It's true.
swarm someone else and that person succumbs and they're weak enough, they'll see an opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I just love the idea of like of like a researcher because this is from the other voice chat too. I just love the idea of like a researcher being assigned to look into why the children are so addicted to Wonka diesel fumes that they're actually like evolving to sniff the fumes even though it's counterintuitive to them surviving and reproducing. And the researcher's answer is just it's just that good.
Yeah. He was
I
really
just
adamant, and the VC was really adamant about it too. He's like, "It's that good. It's imperative that Wonka keep making diesel."
imagine you're like a fucking university student and your professor asks you to write an essay on a given topic and you choose to write an essay on why the kids are evolving to better or better like sniff Wonka diesel, and the entire fucking essay is just it's just the words it's just that good. Not only is
A
that the
plus.
thesis, that's the entire essay. There's no other words
You get
there.
an A plus, and he says, "See me after class," and
The
then
professor
he just smacks the shit out of you. I think because he's
the
like
pro-
he's mad that you're right. He knows you're correct, but he's also infuriated with you.
he gives you an A in denial. He doesn't want it to be true.
He knows that it's true. I mean, he knows that you bring up a good point. You're actually correct, but he's so disgusted that you took the easy way out. He has to like brutalize you.
I mean,
He's not going to let you get away with
I
it.
mean, everyone in university tells me to keep essays as concise as possible. If you pack a punch, with valuable information, you don't want to make it too wordy. So if all you have to say is it's just that good to prove a point, then you've basically fit the requirements. So if anything, I think that professor is actually wildly overstepping and treating you quite unfairly for that.
Well,
It's
he's the
against academic
professor, so
spirit.
He's the one in power. He can do whatever the fuck he
Imagine
wants,
being
honestly.
imagine being the TA and you're grading the paper, and you just see like at the top, like at the title page, it says word count 4, and you're like, what the fuck? That has to be a typo. Who would submit
That
an
better
essay
be a
with only
typo.
4
That better.
words? And then he goes on to read the essay, and it says it's just that good, and he's like, whoa, holy shit, oh my god, he's a genius. Why did I never think of that? I can't believe I judged you. You're truly an intellectual of our time.
I think he's gonna see word count 4, and he's gonna say it better frickin' not be. I swear to God. I swear to God. And then it turns out it is.
If that wasn't, hey, that better be a typo, or you're gonna hear from me.
Yeah, you're gonna hear from me. You're gonna hear from my fist.
You're gonna hear from my fist. You're gonna hear from my bullet.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Wonka's newest invention, bullet.
That was like a direct joke from the VC too.
Yeah, no, I remember it. I felt like it was relevant. They buy Wonka.
All the bullets are manufactured by Wonka.
The professor buys Wonka bullet from the source, and then he administers it to your face.
No. That's the TA is a different being than the professor. Well, I'm not wrong. It's just a weird way to. It's just a weird way to phrase it, I guess. I could have just said person.
They're subtly different. The professor is higher in the ecosystem than the TA. He's an apex predator. The TA is more like a scavenger. You know.
This is. Yeah, many great people are saying this. I just love the idea of like the TA.
Overseas people.
The TA looking at the word count 4 and being like, how dare you submit something that short? And then he actually reads the argument, and he can't deny that that's a prescient and convincing argument. And he's just like, okay, fine, here's your A. I'll discuss it with the prof.
Here's your A, you son of a bitch. That's what he does.
His exact words.
He's just very mad about it. But there's nothing he can do.
He highlights it in the grading software. He just includes a comment that says, here's your A, you motherfucker. And that's the only comment he ever makes.
The only thing he ever says. He never says anything else in his entire life.
He was mute until that moment.
Yeah.
And then he was overcome with such strong emotion.
That's what broke him out of it.
Yeah. He was overcome with such strong emotion. He said the words that were necessary for that situation.
Hatred. Specifically hatred he was overcome by.
Wait. No, even better. The TA was actually an exchange student from Russia. So he was speaking in Russian the entire time, which means all of his language was just evocative body language, right? He wasn't actually using any words because the language is so truncated. But this enraged and inspired such emotion in him that he used like the only words accessible in the Russian language all at once.
He used a whole 8 Russian words, I think, which is like the limit.
Yeah, there's an upper limit. At some point, he actually had to start inventing words just to get across the idea he wanted to get across in the feedback section because he ran out of words in his own language.
Well, when the Russians, when they get really angry, they can say up to 8 words before their diaphragm gives out because it doesn't have a whole lot of practice.
Oh, so it's a biological thing. He can't even say any more words if he tries, even if he makes them up.
No. I mean, he could practice and get better, but most of the time, the Russians, they're reliant on the body language to speak. So when you talk to them, they only really communicate through that. They never really learn to use their lungs like everyone else.
But the essay just invokes such strong feeling that it just causes his diaphragm to reform so he can say more words.
I don't know. That seems a bit like a stretch. I don't know if I'm willing to believe that quite yet.
Well, the diaphragm does stretch, so you're right. It does seem like a stretch because it is.
Oh my God. He's using wordplay against me. This is terrible and unfair. I can't imagine why someone has to gain from doing something like that.
The essay really just like inspires such like strong feeling in him that he somehow restructures his body to be able to say more words. It's just that good. Wait.
It is just that good. Okay. That I can agree with. I think that's a good soundbite. We'll cue that up.
Oh fuck! It's come full circle. We've reached it's just that good.
In the episode, Bugs Bunny will come up on the screen and he'll say,
"Yeah, we're actually going to
end that good, Doc." and then
We're just gonna end the
what?
podcast here. There's no point in doing
Yeah, we're
anything
gonna end it
else.
right here. And Bugs
13-minute
Bunny,
podcast. Let's go.
and Bugs
This
Bunny
will
gonna
keep you
see us
busy on the
out.
commute. I trust.
Yeah, it'll keep you busy on the walk from your bathroom to your bedroom, and no more.
I like how this implies that like there's a 15-minute, there's like a 13-minute difference between your bathroom and your bedroom. Like, what house
Well,
do
it's
you live in?
guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
It's
We took the
guaranteed.
median, a range of times between the distance between most people's bedrooms and most people's bathrooms, and we found that
A
15 minutes was
median.
like the uppermost limit. No, the range, like the lowest limit was something like 3 seconds. Well, actually, the lowest limit was 0 seconds between the bedroom and the bathroom,
Yeah, because what if
and
it's
the
both?
uppermost limit was 15 minutes. So we said, all right, let's be safe. Let's do it 15 minutes, and we'll make a 15-minute bathroom bedroom podcast.
Yeah, that's really smart, actually.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the government liked it so much they printed a whole bunch of money so they could give it to us for free.
Yeah, it's fucked up how true this is. Although
Yeah,
it is quite
we're never
helpful.
even going to get to the wiki pages. We're just going to be talking about this all day long.
Okay, do you want to go feral child first?
I'm up for whatever. I got really no particular compunctions one way or the other. We can go
I
feral child, yeah.
I feel like feral child is like pretty self-explanatory though, so we might not be on this for very long.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a quick look at it, and then we can go to Byford Dolphin, which is probably where it's really at.
Exactly. Okay, so are you seeing my screen? I'm just gonna scroll to like the edge of the Wikipedia
I'm
menu.
seeing it, yeah.
I'm just gonna
Also
read
called
off
a
the different.
wild child.
Holy shit! I'm just looking at the
Yo, dude,
journalistic cases of like
that's the best.
the different animals that have raised these children. So you got primates slash monkeys, which I think everyone knows about that. Like this is a pretty common phenomenon. Wolves, dogs. I feel like that's also pretty well known, if I'm not wrong. Like if anything, the wolves might be more well known than the monkeys. I'm not really an expert in
Yeah, the
feral
wolves are like
child
the
like
major one, I think, as far
mythology,
as I'm aware. That's
right?
the one I keep hearing.
And dogs are kind of just like a variant of wolves almost. So, um, raised by bears is interesting. I have not heard about that before, but I guess
No,
it does kind
neither.
of follow that would happen.
But it actually kind of gets weirder the further you go here on this list, I'm noticing.
Oh yeah, because once you get into like sheep and cattle and goats, it's like what would any of those animals have to teach a child? Like at least with wolves, I feel like you could teach like pack mentality and like hunting skills to the children. What exactly does like a goat do? Like
I
what do you
don't
think a
know. Dude, I mean, a child can't eat grass. That's like the one thing that the goat does. A goat eats grass, right? I don't know much about
right?
goats.
I
And they
mean, I
make
feel
goat
like
cheese. They make goat milk. Maybe it drinks the goat milk.
I mean this raises an interesting question. Can you actually eat grass? I mean, you don't, but like can you?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can eat it. You just can't really make use of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, you probably shouldn't eat it raw though.
Yeah,
In
it's not
in
going to
any
be much better
case.
for you cooked.
Well, yeah, but at least if you eat it cooked, like you're not gonna get like sick from something, which I feel like you very much could if you were eating grass straight from
Yeah,
the ground.
all sorts of deadly ground diseases.
I'm gonna
Let's do
go down
goats. Let's just
to
go
yeah. Let's
straight
do
in.
goats. Let's do goats. There's only one known case of this apparently. Daniel
Mm.
called the Andes goat boy 1990 lived in the wild for about 8 years. He was discovered in the mountains of Peru and was raised by goats or llamas. He walked and ran all fours with the mountain goats. He drank goat's milk and ate berries and roots. So
Oh,
so
berries and
drinking
roots. Okay, that
yeah,
makes sense.
drinking goat's milk I guess makes a lot of sense if he's always with the goats. And that does actually kind of answer my question because if you're being raised specifically by mountain goats, or if you're spending time with mountain goats, you can at least get some like good mountain climbing and navigation skills out of that, I guess.
Yeah, if the eagle doesn't take you on and
If
destroy
the
you.
eagle, if the eagle doesn't
Yeah,
take you
those
on,
eagles, those mountain eagles, you got to worry about them.
yeah. Not as much as Big Bird though. If Big Bird showed up, then that would just, I mean, you can't even really. There's no answer to that.
Well, Big Bird doesn't tend to show up in mountainous environments. He's been partially domesticated, so he likes to show up near human settlements.
That's true,
His
yeah.
prey is more numerous there.
He's like the opposite of a feral child because he's like a humanized like animal instead of like an animalized human. Which I guess is a weird
Yeah,
thing to
I
say
think
because humans are also animals, but like you know what I mean when I say that.
he's like self-domesticated though, I think. It wasn't that humans domesticated him.
No, he
He
did it
he
by
kind of
choice.
over
Yeah.
time he grew more used to the human element.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right about that. Um apparently did this Jean Delige guy did he actually did it have did does it even say what animal he was raised with? I don't think it does.
Let me
Yeah, I don't
see.
think it does. It just says that he was in the woods for like 16 years
Well,
without
yeah, it
human
says other
contact.
cases, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So it's not
Raised
it's
by
not getting into any sort of specific animal.
apparently okay, so this one's interesting. Raised by cattle, the Bamberg boy reportedly grew up among cattle, late 16th century, in the region's mountains, and was later brought to the Prince of Bamberg's court. He initially continued his wild behavior, such as chasing and fighting dogs on all fours, but eventually accustomed to human society. Why would you get chasing and fighting dogs on all fours from cattle? Is that something they do? Because I have
Maybe if
never
if
heard of
he
that.
thinks he's a bull, you got to defend yourself from wild dogs.
Are the dogs red? That's the real question.
Are the dogs red? I don't know
Well,
if the
are
dogs
they?
are red. I wouldn't have access to that information.
Well, I mean, I'm just asking to be like, for the sake of asking, um, for the sake of raising the question. Like, if those were red
Well, maybe the
dogs, or if those could be mistaken for red dogs, that would influence that would tick off the bullish instinct in this child.
it might be. It might excite the child in
Well,
unnecessary capacity.
doesn't it make the bull like angry though? I thought that was the whole point of it. Not that it excited the bull, or I could be wrong about that.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I didn't even realize you were doing a bullfighting reference.
This is,
I
I
I
mean,
don't. I guess the red
you were
does
the one who
anger
brought
the
up
bull.
bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah, I brought up bull, but I wasn't even thinking of bull. I was only thinking of bull because
yeah.
bulls are normally more aggressive, and then they're more likely to go after things that they think are a danger to themselves or their mates or their children.
I suppose,
Like
yeah.
a cow is not generally going to chase you, but a bull is absolutely going to run you down. So,
But if a cow does chase you, God help you. Even if it's just a cow,
oh yeah, no, they're very
the
powerful animals.
the kick strength of a cow is like enough to kill you at point blank range. If you like get kicked in the chin or something like that, I feel like I read that somewhere once.
I mean, it's no horse.
No, but it's
Everyone
still
knows that
enough
the
to
horse
kill
is the
you
strongest animal on the planet. But
on the
yeah,
planet.
no, but it's only enough to kill you though.
No,
The horse
forget
one is
whales,
enough to
forget
destroy you.
elephants. None of those animals are real.
Yeah, those are made up. Those are human inventions.
Those are human
But a horse
inventions.
is the
We
only
created
the horse.
whales.
A
The horse is
cow
a pure
a cow
specimen.
can kick you and can kill you, but a
Yeah.
horse will kick you and destroy you. It's slightly different. It's a more powerful attack.
No, I agree. A horse is definitely stronger than a cow, but you still don't want to be chased by either of them.
Oh yeah, no. I know, I agree. We're not necessarily arguing. I think that we're
This
on the
is
same
more of a
page here.
side topic. What do you think, like, the smallest animal that a human. Sorry, what do you think the biggest animal a human could, like, reasonably be expected to beat in a one on one fight is?
Ooh, I don't know. Let me think. That
Because it's definitely not. I don't think it's.
I won it.
It's definitely not a horse. It's definitely not a cow. I would
Oh
say
yeah,
not a
it's like
pig
way
either.
100% not a horse.
I
I
wouldn't
was
even
gonna
say a
say
pig.
maybe like a
A pig is,
like
like,
a
composed
like
of
a
so much.
smaller dog.
Yeah, like a smaller dog, maybe. Or, like, maybe a
Or like
small
a
sheep as
cat.
well. Yeah, a cat. I think a cat's a pretty done deal, unless the cat's like really clever.
I think maybe like specifically I want to say a Maine Coon cat.
Well, I
I
don't
don't
really
really know
know.
too much about them though.
I don't know specific like types of cat very well.
It's just like the largest cat I can think of that I feel like I could potentially take on.
I guess I mean the average human though, right? Like if you took like a composite human from every human on Earth, like I feel like that's what 5'9", you know,
The
guy or
human
whatever,
amalgam.
the human amalgam.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think it
what's
could
the
be a
average age? Maybe they're like 11 and they can't take many house cats at all.
interesting question. I'm gonna look that up. Average age. I feel like it's like 30 something. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, that's probably it. I'm just
Average
giving you a hard
age
time.
worldwide. It's giving me average age by country, which is not helpful at all, but okay. It's not going to give me what I want, so I'm just going to go with so apparently okay, so in the United States it's like 35 to 39. In Canada where I live, it's like a bit more than that. It's like 40 to 44. But like if you account for like I feel like it's somewhere in like late 20s, early 30s range worldwide, based on the map I'm looking at.
Yeah, I think that's cat fighting age.
I love the way you worded that. Like, there's a designated age where like you like start getting into catfighting. It's like,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
there's and when you usually don't want to be aggravating the cats until you believe that you can take them, and this is
yeah.
generally
You
and
reach
you're
college
past your
age when you get to
teenage years,
18. Yeah. You reach
Yeah, when you
college
get to
age when you get to
18, that's when you
18.
can start comfortably specking into cat warfare. Until then,
Exactly.
watch yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah. Don't get caught with
Um,
your pants down out there in the forest, kid, okay? Listen.
yeah, absolutely.
Serious business.
Because cats will take advantage of that. They will go for the most
Yeah,
sensitive
they know when
spots.
you're food, they can smell it.
Um, raised by sheep. An Irish boy brought up by sheep. I was just gonna say actually, real quick. I don't think you
Yeah.
could beat a pig, or the average person could beat a pig. I very much don't think so, because pigs are composed of a lot more muscle than I think some people might realize. And they're quite heavy. Like they're hundreds of pounds, even though they're smaller than like cows and horses and whatnot. Like I feel like this is like
Well,
a.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. Oh,
I've
my
seen this
bad.
as a
No, keep
debate
going.
in like I've just seen this as like a debate in like certain Reddit posts where like some people are arguing over like whether you could beat a pig or not, and I'm pretty firmly on the side of like the average human cannot. And I don't mean a wild boar. I mean like an average farm pig, because yeah, they don't have the tusks and whatnot, but like they're still those motherfuckers are still pretty strong though. That's all I'm saying.
Well, no, I don't disagree, but I feel like where you're not really well, not you're not understanding, but we're not conceiving and appropriately discussing the fact that there are pigs of varying size, and some of them are a lot larger than others, even farm pigs. So
Well,
there
you're
are
right.
some
Yeah,
pigs that are farm pigs that are like the size of, hippos basically, and you wouldn't even have a dream of taking one of those on. And then there
yeah,
are other pigs that come up to your knees basically. And I
yeah.
think that you could take those on pretty handily. I don't think they really have the artillery to deal any major
Artillery.
damage to
They
a
get in
human
like a
being.
fucking cannon and they
Yeah,
just shoot at you. The
the
bigger
pig
pigs,
artillery. They don't
the bigger pigs
have it.
can
They don't have
access
access to
cannons.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually quite it's unfortunately a messed up society they have where like they have height discrimination. Like they just don't let the smaller pigs man the cannons.
Well, that's good that they don't. I mean, it makes sense because the smaller pigs they can't see
Well, why don't they
anything.
just make smaller
They're too low
cannons
to the
though?
ground.
There's no
Why would
excuse
you?
for there's no
Well,
excuse for not
because
just simply
they
making
need
smaller
tall cannons.
cannons.
They need tall cannons to hit tall things. You're not thinking like a pig. You would have lost the war with that
I
kind of
would have lost
mindset.
the war. What
When the pigs
war?
and the horses took up arms against each other,
Oh,
it
I
was
thought you
every
were
man for
referencing.
himself.
Oh, I thought you were referencing Angry
I
Birds for
am.
a second, which is interesting because
Angry Birds, holy shit.
I mean, look, the pigs had some like pretty impressive technology. If you ever played Bad Piggies, like They could put something together. But of course, and
No, I've never done this.
most you've never done this. Well, you should, because
No.
Bad Piggies is a great game, but I mean, you create all sorts of vehicles in those situations, and like it's like the artillery and ingenuity of pigs is not to be underestimated, and I just don't think it makes sense that like there's an entire class of pigs that through no fault of their own just don't have access to weaponry. And why can't there just be
Well,
smaller weaponry? Yeah, maybe you don't aim for like the same targets, but like if you shoot a horse in its hooves, it's still going to hurt the horse. And if anything, it might trip up the horse, and a horse's galloping technique is really essential to its fighting capabilities. So I feel like it would actually be quite a good investment for war efforts to allow the smaller pigs to man smaller cannons.
I think it doesn't make sense to spec into that though, because we already have a lot of pigs that. I mean, the smaller pigs can do things like they can ferry the ammo, they can act as on-site surgeons, they can be scouts, they can lay mines and tripwires, all kinds of things. They don't
Why
need
can't they?
to be.
Are you saying the big pigs can't do that? I mean, besides scouting,
No,
which
they totally can. They can do that too. I'm just saying. I mean,
the
for
only
pigs
thing
that
that I
are
feel
unable to
like
do certain things,
I feel like the only
they can.
example you listed where like the big pigs would be at a stark disadvantage is the scout thing. Because obviously if you're a small
Yeah,
pig, you can
well,
get into like crawl at smaller areas and whatnot.
so one thing where the small pigs are at disadvantage, and one thing where the big pigs are disadvantaged. It's a more equalized society than you think.
Yes. Maybe I could be speaking out of my ass, you know. Maybe I'm just, I gotta check my privilege.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. You've been sort of out of line recently with the pig ideologies. I mean,
Yeah, sorry.
it's not your place, and it's not my place to discuss these things.
Yeah. I'm gonna
I
step
mean, we
back
can
into the
discuss them, but when we act like we're better than the institutions, the porcine institutions that govern
Okay,
themselves, I mean,
okay. Just give me a
gonna have
second. I'm gonna
trouble.
take a step back into the line, and we're gonna
Yeah,
carry on. All right,
you
I've
should
stepped
take
back into
that
the line.
15-minute trip to the bathroom. It can really
You're
clear
right.
your head.
Yeah, exactly. Um, Anyway, this raised by sheep section. An Irish boy brought up by sheep, reported by Nicolaus Tulp. I don't know how to pronounce this exactly.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage. Yeah, this is actually canon. It was Nicolas
Yep.
Cage. In his
Yeah,
book,
he did that right after
Observe.
Willy's Wonderland.
You know what? I'm not even going to read all the surrounding context. The boy reportedly avoided capture for some time, and after being caught at age 16 in 1672 and taken to Amsterdam, refused to eat normal food, endured extreme temperatures, and still avoided other humans. Um, Serge Aroles gives evidence that this boy was severely disabled and was exhibited for money. And then in Kyrgyzstan, a 14-year-old boy, also known as the Sheep Boy, 2009, was found in Kyrgyzstan living in a sheep flock. He was raised by sheep for 8 years. He had no communication skills and could not use the toilet. So he couldn't even make that trip from the bedroom to the bathroom.
No,
That's
no,
really
he
fucked
couldn't.
up.
He didn't have the material components necessary.
The
It's a sad
components?
state. Yeah,
What do you mean the components?
he didn't have that. He didn't evolve the necessary components. You evolve the necessary components in the presence of other human beings. He didn't have that privilege.
Oh, right,
He
of
wasn't
course, of
able to
course.
go to the bathroom.
Well, he did. He just not in the right spot. Let's just say that.
Yeah, exactly. Not in the right part of his body either.
Not in the right part of his
It's
body.
sad. It's just
What?
nature is very cruel sometimes. If you don't
It's
have what
true.
it
It's true.
takes, you don't have the necessary applications and evolutions, shit happens. This child being raised by sheep, he didn't have the necessary pheromones that come from others of his kind to evolve the proper digestive system. So, that's all she wrote. Nature's cruel sometimes.
Who is she?
That's I name Mother Nature.
Oh,
She's
I
a
thought you
she's a
meant.
wild woman.
I thought you were referring to the Wikipedia article, and I'm like, how do you know the gender of who wrote this?
Oh, Wikipedia, I think, is agender, but that's besides the
Well,
point. We're getting into.
well, I mean, obviously, all the articles are written in collaboration by like a bunch of different people, so I don't think any one person could claim credit for writing the article. But you're right. I think overall, Wikipedia is agender as a concept.
Yeah. Either agender with the space or without the space.
Yeah, I think you're right. The Bear Boys apparently also have one case. The three Lithuanian Bear Boys, um, Serge. This Serge guy keeps coming back. Apparently, he shows from the archives of the Queen of Poland that these are false. Apparently, okay, there weren't three Bear Boys. I'm sorry for spreading misinformation on Phantom's. Sorry, I don't know who Phantom is on Andrew P's podcast.
Another element of misinformation. You're calling me by the wrong name.
That's true. It's true. It's
3
unfortunate,
strikes, man.
but
I'm telling you.
2 strikes. If I fuck this up again, I'm out of here.
Yep. You're going overseas.
I'm going overseas, or I'm dying. We don't know what happens until it
Well,
happens.
No, the thing is, we'll take you overseas, and then what happens after that is anyone's guess. So it might be both. You're absolutely going overseas. After you go overseas, who knows what'll happen? Basically,
Just please don't take me to Chinese Albany. Please, I have a life.
Oh no. Well, I mean, that is technically one of the locations overseas. So.
Well, is it though? Because doesn't it manifest in like all the cities named Albany? Plenty of which are on the same continent as I'm on.
I actually totally lied. It's not overseas. It's just in the USA.
Well, now you spread misinformation,
like,
which makes you a hypocrite.
I spread, but it's okay. It's my podcast. I can spread misinformation if I want.
Oh, that's true. What podcast owner doesn't get to spread misinformation? That is a good point you phrased.
It's privilege.
Anyway,
it's my God-given right.
My God-given
as an American citizen.
God in the Bible actually said outright that Andrew P. would get the podcast.
Yeah. He said, all right, and as the Lord is my witness, and he pointed to himself and he gave a little wink. You are now in charge of all reality, and what you say becomes true. And I said,
it's okay. Like those fucking memes where it's like, when God created the world, God gave all land to Pakistan, but Pakistan is friendly country, so it gave land to other countries.
Yeah, God in his infinite wisdom gave all of the creation to Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong-un in his infinite majesty said that he would allow others to share in it.
This actually happened.
Yeah. Many great people in North Korea have said this.
Not a lot of great people out of it.
Yeah, I have very few great people outside of it.
There aren't many great people outside of North Korea, though, so that's to be expected.
That's actually true as well. Good catch.
Anyway, so apparently there weren't 3 Lithuanian bear boys, but there was one bear boy who lived in the forests with the Eurasian brown bear. He was found in the spring of 1663 and then brought to Poland's capital. I like how it doesn't say what city it is. It just says Poland's capital. Which I guess is maybe because it's a different city at the time, but...
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, it maybe says Warsaw if you hover over it. I don't know why it says Poland's capital on this article. Maybe it wasn't at the time.
Because they don't know if it was Warsaw back then.
Yeah, maybe it was Peacesaw.
Yeah.
That was before they invented war.
Or maybe it was Seesaw.
Seesaw.
It could have been any of them.
Any of them? Yeah. Any of what? The Saw variants?
Any of those names. Or maybe it was all of those names.
It was all of them at once.
Yeah.
I mean, depending on what community you were in. Depending on what community you were in, you might just call it a different name. It was very culturally diverse at the time.
It was forward thinking. A little backward thinking too.
It was definitely thinking to the side as well.
Yeah. There was definitely thought. I don't know in what direction.
It might have been all the directions, just like it had all the names.
That's true. It's possible. But I mean, that's almost.
I do like the idea. I do like the idea that all the different names were just overlapping on on all the labels. You can't even tell.
Explain why.
It's like when you
specify on the page.
It's like when you're in fucking Blender and you have 2 surfaces right on top of each other and they keep Z-fighting whenever you move the camera around.
Yeah, there's one on top and then the other's on top and you move a millimeter and they just start spazzing because the software doesn't know which to render first.
I'm sorry, did I say Z fighting? I meant Z fighting.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry for
No
embracing.
comment.
I'm sorry
Other
for
than that,
embracing my national heritage, Andrew P. Am I not
as you
allowed to
should
do
be,
that on your podcast?
as you should be. You know, you can. You can. I'll see me after class.
See me
I'd like
after
a word
class.
with you.
Anyway, the boy named Joseph was one of two boys seen by hunters living in the woods with the bears. He was captured at about age 9, learning to walk upright and eat cooked meat, but disliked clothes and never spoke well. The other boy was never Are we sure he wasn't Russian instead of Lithuanian? Because that would explain it.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they
Oh
didn't
wait, no,
understand the
wait,
Russian
no.
language.
But this was 1660. This was the 1660s though, so I think this was actually before the Russians cut down their language
Oh,
in the
but the
timeline.
Prussians might have cut down their language by then, right?
Well, I don't think this was
Weren't they
Prussia. It was
before
in
Russia?
No, 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 no.
But Prussia existed back then, didn't it?
I actually think Russia came first, but like
Oh my
Prussia
God.
is obviously like
Ooh.
not here anymore, whereas Russia is. So I guess they got the last laugh in the end.
I'm looking this up right now immediately.
No, I'm pretty sure that Prussia formed
Oh
after.
my God, it does. Russia came first and it came last. That's not even fair.
No, it really isn't. But you know, Germany
Yeah.
just had to unify.
Really
They couldn't have
crazy
waited
stuff.
like a few centuries.
Prussia had a cool name. Okay, I don't know
Exactly.
why they had to get rid of it. I would have liked to live in a society where Russia and Prussia coexisted in peaceful unity. I
In
think that
peaceful
would have been
unity.
beautiful.
It
Yeah,
would have
peaceful
been,
as
but
opposed to non-peaceful unity.
yeah, unfortunately, we just don't get to live in a world like that. It's one of the sad
Yeah,
realities of this existence.
yeah. If there are parallel universes, we're one of the parallel universes. We're not the main one.
Exactly, because Prussia and Russia would definitely still exist, both at the same time in the main one.
Oh, absolutely. It almost goes without saying, except for the fact that we did
The
the
other boy was never captured. The two may have been accidentally abandoned by their families trying to avoid Tatar raids.
Tatar raids.
The other
Interesting.
ones are like pretty
Tartar
well-known
raids? Am I
examples. No,
see what
Tatar,
this
like
says?
the Crimean Tatars. They were like a people group.
Oh,
I mean, I think they
I've
still
never heard of
are, but
the cream of
hold on a sec.
tartar.
Yeah, they're a group of Turkic-speaking peoples found across Eastern Europe and Northern Asia who bear the name Tatars or whatever.
Oh,
They
you learn
were in
something new
like
every day.
Crimea a bunch, but yeah, whatever. The other, I think the other ones
Crimea or
here,
Crimea?
I don't know exactly how you pronounce it, to be honest. I think it's Crimea. You might be
I
right about that.
I think Crimea sounds cooler,
Well, I think you're right.
but I
So
also think it is
good.
Crimea.
Yeah, lucky. In any case, the rest of these are just kind of like obvious, like sorry. Well, I don't want to say obvious, like well-known examples of like wolves raising children. And I do realize a lot of these. Okay, this one is kind of interesting. One of these, this 8-year-old Ukrainian girl, Oksana Malaya, apparently did not know any words besides yes and no. So that feels very Russian to me, like in a sense. And this was 1991, which I feel like that
I
was
guess
after.
I Yeah, I feel like that's pretty hard evidence that Russia existed back then.
that Russia existed. Yeah, we don't know if Russia was around in 1660, but 1991, I feel like we can
Yeah,
conclusively
1991
say
is fair
this.
game.
I mean, think about it. The Soviet Union dissolved in 1991, and then after it came Russia. So that was when
Well,
Russia was
I think the
invented.
Soviet Union was also Russia.
No, but it
It's
was called some.
confusing because it
It
was
was
called the
called,
Soviet Union.
but it was called a different name, so it couldn't have been.
Well, that's true, but the United States is also called America.
Yeah, well, that's wrong. It disgusts me. It's sick. How dare
Well,
they?
they shouldn't do it, but they do anyway. That's like how they have words that are spelled differently from the way that they're said, and English language is inconsistent. It's wrong, but it still happens. It's
I guess
universally
that's true.
accepted by
Yeah.
those in power. So
We have conclusively proven that Russia existed in 1991.
yeah,
But
if
yeah,
nothing
no.
else, you can take that to the fucking bank that we learned this.
Exactly.
verifiable.
Many scientists have been trying to figure out how long Russia has existed, and
We
we have
didn't
we've
actually
made a
solve that
breakthrough.
question. We
we,
didn't. We didn't solve it, but we
okay,
made a major
we
breakthrough.
made a
Yeah.
step. We made a step. Okay, we've at least determined that they've been around since 1991, and that's important.
Someone is going to figure out though that they've been around since 1990 and win the Nobel Prize just
Oh,
outright.
you're right. You're right. We got to get ahead of them.
Yeah. I
We
think we
got
can
to do
probably
something
prove.
about
We may
this.
be able to prove that Russia has existed as far back as 1875.
Well, that would be an undertaking for sure, but I feel like we can
Yeah.
find the evidence for
I'll reach out to you after the podcast is over. We'll see what we can do.
it. Exactly, exactly. Um, anyway, just to be clear, I'm not actually calling the girl Russian. I know that the girl is Ukrainian. I feel like that might actually ruffle some feathers for very understandable reasons. But the whole reason I'm bringing this up is just because of the joke that like the Russians have like this extremely truncated language with like only like a few words. So I see someone who speaks only a few words, and my immediate thought is that reminds me of Russia. It could be any nationality. Um, if a Canadian started speaking to me in a few words, I would be like, "Are you really? I mean, are you sure you're not a Russian?"
Yeah. Are you some kind of a liar? Disguising yourself as something you're not when I know that you speak the Russian tongue,
Exactly.
which is
I
categorized
mean,
by
there are
speaking very
actually a
few
lot of
words.
Ukrainians who speak Russian, and those who don't typically do speak it as a second language anyway, after Ukrainian. So
I
it's
didn't even
not
know Ukrainian was.
impossible. Oh no, it is. It is. It's not like terribly different from Russian, but it is different enough to constitute a language, I feel. Um, but like technically, this girl could have been speaking Russian. We don't know that for sure.
Yeah,
And
she
if she
probably doesn't
was
know it either.
and if she was speaking Russian, then that would explain the lack of any words besides yes or no. I'm sure her dance routine was quite evocative, though.
Well, I'm fine with anyone who speaks Russian as long as I know that they're not speaking Russia. That's a
Well, I think
huge
they phased.
difference.
I feel like they phased Russia out of the Russian language, though, so that shouldn't be a concern anymore.
No, that's true, but I'm talking about like from an abstract sense, speaking Russia is being the messenger, the sentient voice of the continent itself.
The
And that
continent,
I
the
can't abide
well-known
by. I
continent
can't
of
tolerate.
Russia.
Yeah, the continent, the landmass, the great planet of Russia.
This is Putin's Russia. It's like the opposite of Biden's America. When God created Earth, God gave all land to Russia, but Russia a friendly country, so Russia gave land to other countries. Many great people have said this at some point. We don't know when, but they've said it.
Many great people
Presumably,
in North Korea have said this. We don't know why.
we
We don't know
don't know
why they've said
why.
it there.
We think they've been saying it since at least 1991.
Yeah, but
Because
it could
before,
go back even further than that.
depending on how long Russia has existed,
Yeah.
for them to comment on.
We still don't even know if Russia's been around as long as Prussia has. So
Exactly.
we're
We're never
really
gonna know.
on the backlog
I
here.
encourage people in the comments to tell us.
Yeah.
I
Inform
think
us
I'm
if
gonna
you
move
can.
on. I think I'm gonna move on to the Byford dolphin one.
Okay. Let's have a look at that.
This one, I honestly don't know what this could possibly mean. But let's see. Oh, so this isn't an actual dolphin. This is an oil rig called the Byford dolphin. It was a
Oh man, that's a little bit
semi-submersible.
disappointing, but let's see.
No. It's probably gonna have like a bunch of like construction issues or like lawsuits and stuff that could actually be at least kind of interesting to read though. So I'm gonna check. According to the sidebar, we have there's a part of this article that's just called the Byford Dolphin Accident of 1983,
Oh,
which is
wow.
kind of
Let's
funny.
see if they mention Russia.
That's a good point. It's apparently Well, it is apparently not located in Russia. It seems to be registered in Hamilton, Bermuda, which is like a part of the UK.
I'm seeing Panama.
Are you seeing Panama?
I am seeing Panama. It
Oh,
said Red Port of Registry, Singapore, Panama, Bermuda, like all three.
how is Singapore? Singapore is nowhere near those two, though.
Or maybe it's under operator. Maybe the operator is Singapore. I'm
I
misreading it.
no. You're not misreading it. Singapore is in the port of registry section. The operator is Dolphin
Okay.
Drilling.
It's like in the
That's a
exact
great
middle
name.
of the
That's a
boundaries
great
of all
name
these
for.
areas.
That's a great name for a company, by the way. Dolphin Drilling.
Yeah.
I mean, it really tells you what they're doing on the tin. That is drilling dolphins.
They're just going right into the dolphin. Yeah.
They've got dolphins lined up all over the place, and they're
Destroying
going
it,
right
shredding
in.
it, putting it through the machine.
It's like an evil parallel to like the Wolfeel factory.
Yeah, the dolphin drilling operation.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I want to know what the
Killing people
Byford
doing
Dolphin
nothing.
accident of 1983 is.
Yeah,
I like how
let's
it's on
figure it
one
out.
of the like well-known Five Nights at Freddy's incident dates. Like there was a bite of 83, if I'm not wrong. Did it happen on Byford Dolphin? We need to ask Scott Coffin this question. This is a pressing
happened
issue.
on the infamous Byford Dolphin Day. It's a national holiday.
Exactly. So apparently, okay, so this implies that it's not. Byford Dolphin was a semi-submersible column-stabilized drilling rig operated by Dolphin Drilling, a subsidiary of Fred Olsen Energy, which implies that it's not operating anymore. In 2019,
Yeah,
Dolphin scrapped the rig.
ominous.
The rig was the site of several serious incidents, most notably an explosive decompression in 1983 that killed 4 divers in one dive tender, as well as critically injuring another dive tender. So I assume if we go to the accident of 1983, we get more. I guess we get more elaboration on this.
Perhaps.
So let me just try and read this section. On Saturday 5, November 1983 at 4 a.m., while drilling in the Frigg gas field in the Norwegian sector of the North Sea, 4 divers were in a diving chamber system on the rig's deck that was connected by a trunk, a short passage, to a diving bell. The divers were Edwin Arthur Coward, British 35, Roy P. Lucas, British 38, Bjorn... oh, Jesus Christ. Bjorn...
Okay, let me take a look here.
I don't really know how to pronounce...
Oh no, it's got the O
name,
with the little dash in it. We're doomed.
No, Bjorn is easy to do. I just don't know about this middle name, you know? I'm going to say Bjorn Javer Bergersen, Norwegian 29, and Troels Hellevik, Norwegian 34. They were assisted by 2 dive tenders, William Cramond, British 32, and Martin Saunders. I like how Martin Saunders doesn't even have like a listed age or nationality. We don't know what he's doing there and who he is.
Yeah, we have no idea. He went over, he was one of the few who went overseas instead of died, so we don't actually have access to that information.
It's true. At the time of the accident, decompression chambers 1 and 2, along with a third chamber which was not in use at the time, were connected via a trunk to a diving bell. The connection made by the trunk was kept sealed by a clamp operated by Cramond and Saunders, who were experienced divers. Coward and Lucas were resting in chamber 2 at a pressure of 9 atmosphere.
And Lucas, I'm sorry.
I know.
Coward and Lucas, and I just found that very funny. Like Coward.
I mean, that's his name. So
actually, oh my god, I wasn't
Did you not get that the first time I said that?
That is exactly how it's spelled as well. What the hell? Who names their child that? I feel bad.
But it's the last name. I don't think that's really in control. I don't think the parents in control of that.
Well, someone was in control of it. Where do last names begin from? Someone had to decide to name themselves Coward.
I mean, there's worse in this world, I think.
Yeah, probably. I like how that ended up being like a little minefield because I was only half paying attention, and then you said Coward again, and I was like, wait a fucking minute. Something's not right.
That's pretty funny.
I'm not gonna be able. I bet he never lived that down, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, for all 35 years of his life, I'm so sorry if, like, fucking family members of, like, Edwin Arthur Cock Howard watch this and feel like we're disrespecting him. Because we're not trying to. I'm just. There's just a bit
I'm
of
just kind of
whiplash that comes from, like, seeing a
yeah.
name like that when you're only half paying attention. Coward and Lucas were resting in Chamber 2 at a pressure of 9 atmospheres ATM. The diving bell with Bergerson and Helvik had just been winched up after a dive and joined to the trunk. Leaving their wet equipment in the trunk, the two divers climbed through the trunk into Chamber 1. The normal procedure would have been close the diving bell door. Okay, this list is missing the create the universe step, so that's probably where they
Oh
went
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, if
That'll
you
do
don't
it.
create the universe first, I mean, none of this works. But anyway, step 1, close the diving bell door, which would have been open to the trunk. 2, slightly increase the pressure in the diving bell to seal the bell door tightly. 3, close the Chamber 1 door, which was also open to the trunk. 4, slowly depressurize the trunk until it reached a pressure of 1 atmosphere. And then 5, open the clamp to separate the diving bell from the chamber system. The first 2 steps had been completed when a mechanical failure caused the clamp that was keeping the trunk sealed to open before Helvik, Diver 4, had closed the door to the chamber. This resulted in both chambers being rapidly depressurized from 9 atmospheres to the ambient external pressure of 1 ATM. Air rushed out of the chamber system with tremendous force, jamming the interior trunk door and pushing the bell away, striking the 2 tenders. All 4 divers were killed. One of the tenders, Cramond, was killed, while Saunders was severely injured. The only survivor is the one without nationality or age.
Wow. What does that tell you?
I don't know what it tells me. I mean, it tells me something, but I don't
Sometimes
know
it's
what it
better
is.
to give all things up for survival.
Wait.
That's what it tells me.
He chose to go overseas, and because he was given an option to go overseas or die, he couldn't die after that. So that's why he survived it. Because he'd already gone overseas.
I think that's a conspiracy. I think that we need to get someone on the case here, figure out what's really going on.
Yeah. No, I mean, all jokes aside, that's fucking terrifying. Like the fact that like you
Yeah.
can be on like a machine like this and like a simple mechanical fail, because it didn't look like anyone like caused this to happen by like fault of like inexperience. Like just a regular mechanical failure took place and it just killed everyone. Which like I don't think I could ever take a job like this, just knowing that if the slightest thing went wrong, like I could instantly die. Which, I mean, I guess at any point, like, reality could collapse and you could instantly die. But, like, and that would count as something going wrong. But, like, I don't
Yeah.
feel.
The chances of
I
that are
don't.
pretty low.
The chances of that are low, yeah. It reminds me of a story of, like, a 1 in a million chance where, like, an airplane, at one point, like, all 3 of the backup, like, systems that were involved in making sure the plane didn't, like, spiral out of control, all 3 of them, which had, like, a 1 in a billion shot of all crashing at the same time, actually did crash at the same time. And that led to like most people in the plane dying. And that's pretty terrifying to think about because, yeah, the probability is extremely low, but like at any point, like it
Already
could still
happened.
just happen. It's not impossible.
Yeah, all that's true. I guess the only thing I would say in response is like how many stories exist of that having happened and how many planes have had successful flights regardless.
Well, I mean, obviously, most planes have successful flights, and I think arguably you're safer in a plane than you are in a car. In fact, maybe
Yeah, that's what
inarguably
they
you are.
say.
I don't know who they is, but they do say it.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they've been known to say it. They say it quite often. We don't know who they are, but they love to say it. They
You just
whisper it in back alleys.
you're
It's
just
like
walking.
sustains them to say it.
You're completing your daily commute, your daily 13-minute commute from your bathroom to your bedroom, or vice versa, and then you just hear in the
As
background.
everyone does, you know. I mean, this kind of thing all the time.
You just hear in the background. You just hear in the background. You're safer in a car, or sorry, you're safer in a plane than you are in a car. You don't know who's saying it. It's just whispers.
It's you're just trying to. You're going to sleep, right? You've just started to doze off, and you hear, "You're safer in a plane than you've ever been in a car."
I love how
I shoot awake. You sit up. You look around. No one's there.
I love how ominous it is, despite like being the least ominous possible sentence, because it's directly telling you that you are safe if you're in a plane.
Well, you're not in a car now. This information is completely irrelevant to you.
I know. I mean, I guess
You're
it
like
could
at
be
home
taken as
in your
ominous.
bed, and this entity has fed you knowledge that's useless.
I mean, it's not necessarily useless. It's like saying studying for a test is useless because while you're studying, you're not doing the test, so you can't apply that knowledge immediately. I feel like it's helpful to learn that information even before you get on a plane or go in a car.
Yeah, but like you're saying it's giving you helpful information. I feel like in the moment it kind of wouldn't really register to you because
Well, no,
you're
because you
not
said
in a
it in an
position
ominous
where you can
voice.
make use of that information at all.
You're probably half asleep too, as well.
Yeah.
So like it's like a sleep paralysis demon situation. Imagine a sleep paralysis demon that just gives you helpful facts about the world.
Helpful, but kind of, I mean, in the moment, pretty useless as well.
Yeah. It's absolutely nothing that you can apply to your current situation.
You're drifting off, and you hear like a honey badger is one of the most vicious tiny creatures in the forest. Most things don't want to engage with it unless they have a massive size advantage. There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, can I go to sleep though?
No.
No.
Bamboo goes so fast, you can actually watch it sprout if you're careful. It's the only thing that sustains the panda's appetite. What?
This will be on the test. Pay attention while you're trying to sleep.
Study well. The TA is watching, and your teacher is very disappointed with your progress so far.
And if
by the way, the TA and the teacher are different people. They're different entities.
And if your word count is only a few words, you better fucking that better fucking be a typo.
Yeah, if your word count is less than 5 characters, that better be a tight ass essay you're making.
Characters and words aren't even the same thing. How does that make any sense?
Don't give me lip. You can't even move. I'm the one in charge here.
You can't even move. Oh, watch me. I bet I can. And then I get out of the bed, and he's just like, oh, shit.
Oh, my God. Yo, all those trips to the bathroom have strengthened him.
I have evolved to get out of bed and face down my sleep paralysis demon head on.
Amazing. And very inspiring.
Imagine the sleep paralysis demon going to like children's beds and he's just like, be wary of the Wonka Diesel. And then before he's done speaking the sentence, the Wonka Diesel trucks go by and the child is already throwing himself out the window. It's too late.
The child's already up. He's already like losing his goddamn mind because he can smell it from here.
He made the critical mistake. It was a really hot day, so he left the window open. But then the smell of the Wonka Diesel drafted into the room, like the smell of a delicious pie, and he just went for it.
Oh no! It's like a cartoon character, dude. It's over.
The sleep paralysis demon just watches in absolute horror.
He just levitates.
He just levitates.
It's like an unnatural, yeah, it's like an unnatural, unearthly force fucking pulling.
It literally is just like a cartoon character where like they smell a pie and they just start floating in the air.
Yeah. That's exactly what goes down. Very unfortunate. We lose a lot like that.
This is a common cause of death in our society.
Anyway, the Wonka diesel trucks go by quite often, and at least 1 or 2 of the children is bound to notice.
Parents need to be more responsible and close the windows on days when Wonka diesel trucks go by.
They really do. The most responsible parents just stop having children.
Just stop having children. It's less risky to just end the human species forever than continue subjecting children to Wonka diesel.
Well, it's only in the areas where the trucks go by. That's really the only place you need to worry about it.
You got to move out. If you want to have children, you got to move out of the Wonka areas,
Yeah, if you're overseas, then the trucks don't drive by. So
official government
you don't really have much to do.
Official government advisory: do not have kids anywhere within 100 kilometers of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah, it's just good practice.
And if you do, so help me God. Or so help
Yeah.
you God.
So help your God,
So help your
'cause
God.
he's gonna need it. Yeah,
He's
your
gonna
God is
need
gonna
it.
need help.
Even God's children. Even God's children got taken by the
Yeah.
Wonka Diesel. Which I guess is all children, because all children are God's children, but
Wow,
it's a potent
it's
statement.
true. It is.
Anyway,
We live in a society
we do live
by
in a
choice.
society. There were also other incidents to do with the Spyford dolphin. On 17 April 2002, a 44-year-old Norwegian worker on the rig was struck on the head and killed in an industrial accident. The accident resulted in Byford Dolphin losing an exploration contract with Statoil, which expressed concerns with the rig's operating procedures. The incident cost the company millions of US dollars in lost income. There was also a lawsuit, apparently, over the big 1983 one. The North Sea Divers Alliance, formed by early North Sea divers and the relatives of those killed, continued to press for further investigation and, in February 2008, obtained a report that indicated the real cause was faulty equipment. I mean, I feel like this. I mean, we already knew it was mechanical failure. I felt like that was kind of just like a given, but Claire Lucas,
Well,
daughter of Roy Lucas, said, I would go so far as to say that the Norwegian government murdered my father because they knew that they were diving with an unsafe decompression chamber. The families of the the families of the divers eventually received compensation for the damages from the Norwegian government 26 years after the incident. I didn't know that the Norwegian government was running that. I did not know that. This is the first time I
yeah,
found out.
yeah. I thought it would be like a private. I thought it was dolphin drilling.
Well, maybe it's like a state
They told
company,
me
like a state-owned industry. I'm not
in
100%
the
sure.
state.
I'll check. Dolphin Drilling is an offshore drilling rig company. It's a Norwegian company, I think. Or I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's an international company, because apparently its headquarters is in Scotland now, even though it used to be in Norway. I mean,
Hmm.
the revenue is Norwegian krone, so I'm assuming it's Norway based or something like that. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go to list of heresies in the Catholic Church one. That one could be good.
Okay.
Um so what exactly? Okay, medieval heresies could be a good one. Uh what's a funny one? Okay, this one's good. Okay. Triclavianism. This was a heresy according to the Catholic Church. Belief that 3 rather than 4 nails were used to crucify Christ, and that a Roman soldier pierced him with a spear on the left rather than the right side. This one just feels genuinely petty. Like, how dare you believe that only 3 nails were used to crucify Christ?
What kind of makes me I'm wondering like where that belief started. Like who thought no, actually these people they're wrong. It was not 4 nails at all.
Yeah, now that I think about
What,
it, does it not make more sense for there to be 3 nails with like a cross-shaped structure? Like one
well,
nail for
cross
each
has
arm.
4 ends though.
Well, yeah, but like, did they nail his head? I presume, or did they nail his neck? I don't. Sorry, where did they nail? Where did they
They
nail
took a big
Jesus? I'm
clump
not a
of his
Christian.
hair and they tied it in a knot and they nailed that.
Maybe. My only guess is like maybe they nailed his chest or like his neck or something. No, his neck would have killed him instantly. But
Yeah.
like they definitely nailed his 2 arms to the side. I. But then that makes me wonder, where the fuck did they even nail his legs? I don't think they nailed his legs. I think his legs were just dangling.
The belief
So,
okay, well you're about to invent the belief that they used 2 nails. So watch it.
well, I feel
Catholic
like
Church is gonna
I
have your
feel
head on
like
a
they
pike.
did, because like
Oh my
what's the
god.
point of the other
Here we
2
go.
or the other
Here we
or the
go.
other one, depending on whether you're a triclavianist or not? Like, Like, I don't know. Like, did they use the extra 2 for like his shoulders or something? I
Well,
don't know
I guess we
this.
can look it up. I'm gonna look it up then. Where did they put the nails on my man Christ?
On my man Christ. Yeah. Man, I love Jesus. He was such a good dude. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with him back in the day. We went on a lot of
Oh,
crazy
there we go.
adventures.
Okay, okay. The feet were nailed either separately or together.
Oh, okay. I did not know
So
the feet
they
were. That doesn't
probably
feel right to me. I
did
feel
it
like
like
every
that.
depiction. I feel like every depiction I've seen of Christ being nailed to the cross does not include his feet being nailed. I could be wrong about that. This might be like a
Well, it's
Mandela effect thing,
artistic.
like Berenstain Bears, whatnot.
Yeah, it's artistic liberty.
Right, but God forbid you actually
Sometimes.
believe that though, because if you get the
Oh
number of
no,
nails wrong,
you're out of here, man. If you believe that,
you have to go
crazy.
overseas or you'll die.
Yeah,
Those are the only two options.
overseas, and even then you might die. Actually, to be perfectly clear,
Yeah,
because
you
we
don't
have
get it.
Christians
You don't get an out. You don't get an
overseas
out
as
like
well.
Saunders on the 5-4
Yeah.
Dolphin. Don't even think for a second you'll get an out like him.
Uh-uh.
Okay, it
Absolutely
says
not.
here that supposedly condemned by Pope Innocent III, but most likely never actually considered a heresy by said Pope.
Oh, there you go.
Well, that's disappointing. It would have been really funny if that was like an actual fucking like thing that was like a major big deal. Because
Yeah.
I feel like people back in those days were just as petty as we are now to each other, where like if we get like
Oh yeah.
slight, it's like fandom discourse back in these days. Like,
It's like even I think most of these people I think were even more petty.
oh, probably, yeah. Um, I'm gonna try and find another like funny specific one. A lot of these are just very like generic, like Savonarola called for simplicity in church interior and rigorous moral stances. Like this is such a general thing that doesn't really like have a lot of like comedy potential, I guess. Um okay, I know what Calvinism is.
Oh yeah.
Protestantism was
That's
definitely
classic.
a heresy in and of itself to the Catholic Church. Um Americanism? What the fuck is Americanism? Okay. A group of
Whoa.
a group of
That's
related
profound.
heresies, which were defined as the endorsement of full freedom of the press, liberalism, individualism, the separation of church and state, and as an insistence upon individual initiative, which could be incompatible with the principle of Catholicism of obedience to authority. So this is just like they didn't like the American Revolution very much, or like the United
Oh
States
no,
values
not
very much.
that. Not the American Revolution. Oh no.
Oh fuck! Oh no!
Oh
But
Christ.
apparently,
It's happening, guys.
no, 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 no! The American Revolution is coming. Oh god!
It's like the British are coming, but oh, the American Revolution's coming. Oh my God.
Here they
Do
come!
something about it. Here they come. Yeah.
The American rats. They all spill out of the
American
sewers.
rat. That's like definitely something that America was called at some point in the war
In the war. I love how
by some
non-specific
foreign
that is.
power. You know.
In what war? I feel
I
like
don't know. I
feel
feel
like
like
America was in a
they
few
were
of
like,
them.
instead of calling them American dogs at some point, they thought they'd spice it up and call them American rats, and maybe it just didn't stick.
It just didn't stick.
Not all, slurs do. Some of them don't. It's just sometimes they're destined to fade and die.
Okay, Mormonism was obviously considered a heresy. Positive Christianity, a term adopted by Nazi leaders to refer to a model of Christianity consistent with Nazism. I feel like that's negative Christianity. I could not
I was
think of a
gonna
less.
say, what is positive Christianity? And I was thinking, not that very clearly.
I feel like you couldn't get less positive than that. Like,
Yeah, positive for who? For you, I guess. The person
for the
who
leaders
is
of the state, I
advocating
guess.
for it specifically, not anyone else. No, not you
Reincarnation.
as like the podcaster, but you as in like whoever came up with it.
Whoever
It's
came
only
up with
good
it.
for them. A
Yeah,
racist, I
because you
guess. I don't know.
yeah, because you turned it into Hitler and he's just like, "Yo, wait, this is sick. I'm going to give you like a
This is
cushy
the coolest
position."
one yet, dude. Yo, this is sick. Famously, Hitler said, "Yo, this is sick." When they gave him a new way to be theocratically racist, he said, "Yo, this is."
I've been waiting on this update for so long and they delivered.
Yo, that's incredible, man. High five. And he like high fives the dude, he claps him on the shoulder. Now I
We
can be
did
even more
it.
racist than ever before.
We did it, Germany.
We did it. We did it, lads. Hoist the sails. We're
It's
ready
like
to
a
party. We've
variation.
got the beans.
It's like a
Yo, this is sick.
it's like a variation. It's like a variation of We Didn't Reddit, but for Germany in like the 1930s.
Wholesome Seal Award. 500 Reddit Gold Award.
Oh,
I
Jesus
just there's
Christ.
something very abstractly funny about like the quote "Yo, this is sick," and then at the bottom it's attributed to Adolf Hitler.
Man,
It just
the
it doesn't get much
Christianity,
better than that.
the heresy factory really came up with a banger this time.
Yeah, we got him.
My God.
I wonder if Russia was around for that.
If they were, they definitely didn't want to be.
Yeah, the Russians were not known for their sense of humor. Back in the day, they would not have found such a thing very funny at all. I mean, for good reason. I mean, it was a different time back then.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay, reincarnationism. Belief that certain people are or can be reincarnations of biblical figures, such as as Jesus Christ and the Virgin Mary. Okay, I think that one's kind of general. Worship or veneration of Santa Muerte. Who is that? Is a new religious movement, female deity, folk Catholic saint, and a folk saint in Mexican folk Catholicism and neo-paganism. Oh, okay. A personification of death, she is associated with healing, protection, and safe. I'm gonna assume safe travels to the under. Let me read the rest of that.
Wait.
Safe delivery to the afterlife
Personification
by her
of death.
devotees. Oh, I was right. Okay.
Personification of death, and she's associated with safety.
Well, safe delivery to the afterlife is what I actually read.
Okay, all right.
Which is very different
I
from
see.
what you said.
Yeah. No, I didn't catch that last part.
Despite condemnation by the Roman Catholic Church and evangelical Protestant denominations, her following has become increasingly prominent since the turn of the 21st century. Damn, everyone should. I mean, everyone's subscribing to Santa Muerte's YouTube channel. There's some good stuff over there.
Man, the Catholic Church probably hated that back in the day.
Oh, I mean, they hate it now.
They see it, woman deity, and they're like, "Oh no, we can't have that."
You do realize I said it since the turn of the 21st century, right? Like, it wasn't that long ago that I'm talking about.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, in general, I don't think that the church would have been very happy. Like back
Yeah,
then.
no, you're right. I mean, but she's still getting subscribers to her YouTube channel. I mean, her following has become increasingly prominent.
Oh, she's very successful.
Exactly. Making a lot of AdSense revenue.
She sells a lot of merch, too. She's got
she sells
the
merch.
whole evil eye necklace that she sells that on her YouTube.
Exactly.
Beautiful stuff.
There's got to be some other interesting ones here.
Hold on a sec.
All right, I will hold on.
Okay, well, you can stop holding on now.
All right, I'm gonna let go.
But then I'll.
Whoa!
Oh, what's this?
I fell because I stopped holding on.
Oh no! Okay,
I'm really in a bind now.
But then you might want to brace yourself because you might fall again after I
That's
tell you
true.
that I'm
That's
gonna
true.
have to go
That's
poop.
true. Yeah. No. Um.
You should find a standing desk for this.
A standing desk. What the fuck is semi-Pelagianism? Belief that Augustine had gone too far in attacking Pelagianism and taught that some come to faith by mercy and grace, but others through free will alone. This view arose in the East and was purportedly taught by John Cassian, who was opposed to by Prosper of Aquitaine. Whether Cassian taught this is disputable. Condemned by the Council of Orange in 529, which slightly weakened some of Augustine's more extreme statements. The label
Council of Orange.
semi-Pelagianism dates from the 17th century. This one also seems so petty. Like, hey, maybe you took things a little bit too far attacking this group, and then you're also declared a heretic.
Screw you! Die! You're no longer welcome here in our lands.
You've shown weakness, and we can't trust you anymore.
No. Never.
Never. This reminds me of the bit we did in like one of our other podcasts, like one of the dream discussion ones, where like Donald Trump was talking about how like his chief of staff asked him why he doesn't take horses seriously, and then he fired his chief of staff because it implied his chief of staff takes horses seriously and is therefore a threat.
Yeah.
Do you think the Pope has ever excommunicated someone for taking horses seriously?
I think that maybe he might have excommunicated someone for saying that God might have been a horse.
God
I
might
think
have been a horse.
there was someone at some point who said like, what if God was a horse? They didn't say God was a horse. They just said, what if?
They raised the
And the Pope was
idea,
like,
and that was
Yeah.
that in and of
And the
itself
Pope-
was too heretical.
The Pope was like, get this guy out of here. Kill him, destroy him.
Kill him. It's like that fucking like LeBron meme where he's just like, see that guy over there? Kill him. But it's like the Pope.
He said it multiple times, so he's like, that guy, kill him. Get him out of here, kill him, put him down.
Oh, he wanted to be sure
Destroy
that they
him.
all
I
heard
never want
him.
to see him again. He doubled down on it. Every time
He
people
tripled
looked
down,
at
he
him,
quadrupled
said it
down.
again. I think he might have quadrupled down. I think he might have gotten that. I think he would have gotten that far.
What the fuck is Clinton body count?
Oh, God.
Clinton body count conspiracy theory is a conspiracy theory centered around the belief that former U.S. President Bill Clinton and his wife,
He's
former
Zodiac
U.S.
killer.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, have secretly had their political opponents murdered, often made to look like suicides, totaling as many as 50 or so or more listed victims. Knowing Bill Clinton, I actually had a different idea when I heard the conspiracy Clinton body count.
Yeah.
I actually expected, I honestly expected like the assassination thing as like a secondary expectation after the other thing.
Yeah. And I think you were right too.
I was. Who were the alleged victims in this? Don Henry and Kevin Ives, C. Victor Razor 2, Ian Spyro, Mary Mahoney. I don't know any of these people. Jeffrey Epstein, Kobe Bryant, I don't know who Sean Lucas is. John F. Kennedy Jr. This is like a very wide net of people.
Yeah.
Like, is the idea that like
busy.
Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton went and they just like killed anyone who even looked at them wrong at one point? Like,
I guess so.
some of these people were just former White House interns and shit. Why does it link to something called Starbucks murders? Okay, now I want to go down this rabbit hole. On the morning of Tuesday, July 8th, Starbucks regional director Dean Tarenga toured the crime scene with police. He said, "Nothing like this in the history of the company has ever happened." I like how this is under the like the part of the article that says murder, and then it just doesn't describe the murder. It just describes this one guy reacting to the murder.
Yeah, that's more important. We'll get to the murder in a sec, right after these messages.
It's like War of the Worlds,
CEO.
where they like focus most of the movie on like Will Radford just like looking at everything and just being like, "Oh, and damn." Like, I'm just imagining like a news report that's not even about like they include the fact that murder happened at the Starbucks as like a footnote, but the main title of the article is Starbucks regional director Dean Tarenga toured the crime scene with police. He said, "Nothing like this in the history of the company has ever happened."
The
They
person
don't
who
even
wrote this article is like an aspiring story writer, so they're trying to make it into a more cinematic scene.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so apparently it does say at the beginning of the article, the Starbucks murders occurred on July 6, 1997 at a Starbucks store in Georgetown, Washington, D.C., where 3 employees were killed. Their murder weapons were a .38 caliber snub-nosed revolver and a .380 caliber semi-automatic pistol. So the conspiracy is just because one of these 3 guys was a former White House intern, I guess apparently Clinton had him killed, or had all of them killed just to get that one guy, for some reason.
I mean, did they know who did it?
Apparently so, yes. On the evening of Monday, March 1, 1999, Carl Derek Cooper was arrested and brought in for questioning about a 1996 attempted murder of an off-duty Prince George's County police officer. And then he was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder on March 5, 1999. Yeah, Cooper was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole. So it seems like they do know who did it, or at least they have an idea of who did it. I mean, they have an idea because they arrested him and convicted him, but I think have an idea might be like understating it.
I would hope that it's an understatement.
You
never know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know indeed. What the fuck is Loveland Frog? In Ohio folklore, the Loveland Frog, also known as the Loveland Frogman or Loveland Lizard, is a legendary humanoid frog described as standing roughly 4 feet, 1.2 meters tall, allegedly spotted in Loveland, Ohio. In 1972, the Loveland Frog legend gained renewed attention when a Loveland police officer reported to a colleague that he had seen an animal consistent with descriptions of the Frogman. After a reported sighting in 2016, the second officer called a news station to report that he had shot and killed the same creature some weeks after the 1972 incident, and had identified it as a large iguana that was missing its tail. So it was just an iguana.
Oh, there we go. Was that really a conspiracy then? Is that a rabbit hole? Like we know what it is. Like,
well, maybe it was
aware.
a different thing. We don't know for sure. It's in 2016 on
enough.
WCPO TV, Matthews commented on reports of a couple playing Pokemon Go near the river who claimed to see a frog-like creature standing on hind legs. It's like Bigfoot and all that other stuff, Matthews said. I don't believe in Bigfoot either.
Bigfoot and all the other stuff.
And all that other stuff.
I like he's quite, his vernacular is quite good.
Exactly. I think he would get an A on his essay too. I mean, he'd include more words than just, it's just that good. But
he would put or something at the end of it.
Or something. It's just that good. Or some other explanation. When he's asked why the kids are going after the Wonka Diesel.
It's like either what I said or it's not.
It's either what I said or it's something else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you solve a mystery. It's like, it's either, my guess is that I can say with certainty that it is either this option or one of the other options.
Yeah, and then Adolf Hitler was like, yo, that's really cool.
Adolf Hitler is running the probe into the investigation for no reason.
I don't even know if he's doing that. I think he's just nearby. He catches a wind. He has to add his 2 cents. Yo, dude, that's pretty cool.
His 2 cents of Reddit gold.
We've casted him now. We've casted Adolf Hitler as guy that says, yo, that's pretty cool.
We've casted
Yeah.
Imagine watching a movie and in the credits it just says Adolf Hitler. I mean, there's an actual German film about Adolf Hitler coming back to life in like modern Germany. Imagine if it was actually just Adolf Hitler and not even an actor, and they just filmed him giving his live reaction to modern Germany. Famously, when Hitler came back to life for the filming of that movie, he said, "Oh my god, this is so not cool."
No, he said, "Holy crap, Lois, this is awesome."
He said the opposite. He said it wasn't awesome. His vision for the country hadn't panned out exactly.
That's true, but he's alive. He's still alive.
I love the implication.
You
that, like,
can try again
time,
if you want.
Famously, every time Hitler overheard or heard something interesting that he thought was cool, he was like, "Yo, dude, that's sick."
Yeah.
It was his famous catchphrase.
Like, his dad said it quite often, so he got brought up to recognize it. He wheels
it was a
out
tradition
every
in the Hitler
chance he
family.
gets. Yo, dude, that's pretty sick.
It's the signature Hitler catchphrase.
Yeah, very, very well known, famously.
It was so famous. I think his last words were actually that. And when he was in the
No,
bunker.
I don't think they were. I don't know if they were. I don't think that he would have thought that what happened was sick at the very end.
Well,
I think his last words were probably, "Yo, dude, I'm feeling sick," because he poisoned himself.
That's so true, though. But he kept the same vernacular the whole way through.
Yeah.
Apparently,
He
in
was
the video
genuine
game,
until the end.
in the video game, in 2023, the Loveland Frog became the city's mascot. The frog, dressed as a frog prince, debuted at the city's second annual Hearts Afire weekend celebration and appears at other city events. So they've really incorporated this frog into the culture, which is interesting to see. I mean, that's just a nice thing. Do you want to do another one, or do you think we can probably wrap this up now? Because I think you said you had to go.
Wrapping up. Yeah. It's 9.
Oh god, I just saw Unit 731 on here. That is a depressing one to read, because I actually know what that is.
What is it? You can tell me about that, and then we gotta get the.
It's like a secret Japanese research unit in World War II, where they basically just performed vile experimentation on random people for the sake of it to see what would happen. They would do stuff inject people with random blood to see how it would interact with their blood. They would inject chemicals and stuff. They would do all sorts of terrible things. Honestly, it's honestly a bridge too far even for this podcast to me. The amount of the sort of shit that happened at Unit 731, it's I'm not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole.
Montreal level shit.
Yeah. It might be worth revisiting this database, though, if we get a better idea of what we want to look at some point. Because I feel like this is an idea that has a lot of mileage that could be gained from it.
Oh, for sure. We'll have to. I mean, I'll have to make the decision though, because this is my podcast.
Exactly. You're right. Of course. And then when we find, the right one to look at, we're like, "Yo, dude, this is sick."
Yeah. You have to be careful though, because the more often you say "Yo, this is sick," the more likely you're gonna summon Hitler.
I was thinking you were gonna say it's like the fucking symbiote where you slowly turn into him. It's like Venom.
You get the mustache grows.
My facial hair grows back, and it's a suspiciously Hitler-shaped hair or Hitler-shaped mustache.
It's a Hitler-shaped strand of hair. You can tell, even just looking at it at an angle. That's a Hitler hair for sure. Winston Churchill's famous quote: "That's a Hitler hair, right there." See that? Get that out.
He spotted one. That was how they uncovered German spies in the UK. They would look at the hair, the singular hair, and they would always be right because it was a distinct Hitler hair.
Yeah.
And they all gave themselves that Hitler hair to show allegiance to the Führer. So
to the Führer, yeah.
And then when he did it, and then when they all did it, Hitler was like, "Yo, wait, that's sick.
No, that's sick, dude. That's totally tubular.
That's totally tubular."
He was really into it, yeah.
And it caused him his downfall. It wasn't totally tubular when he was in that bunker and had to die. So
yeah.
He was laughing in the end.
It was tubular for other people. They thought it was quite enjoyable.
It was quite tubular. The American GIs in occupied Germany reading the Hitler Dead newspaper, and they're all just in unison. "Yo, that's sick."
Hell yeah, dude.
But they
Awesome,
don't
man.
realize that they're actually propagating like his phrase by saying that. So
Yeah,
he
they
gets the
don't
last
realize
laugh
that
in the
next,
end.
like, there's like it goes down to Hitler's gravestone, and like you see the earth kind of rustle a bit, and then it just says to be continued.
That was why he came back for the German film about Hitler's resurrection.
Yeah,
It all makes sense. The more we say it, the more the more life it gives him, which means we should probably end this podcast before we say it again.
yeah, I think that would be wise.
Anyway, thanks for coming on, and thanks
Yeah,
everyone
no
for
worries.
watching.
Yeah, I should be the one saying that, but I graciously extended the offer. God, the Lord, of course, gave
Yeah, we
me
worked it out
all
before
podcasts
this
in
and
the
started.
universe.
That's true, but you're a friendly podcaster, so you gave other
Yeah.
people podcasts, and then I gave you mine back because I felt bad about taking your rightful podcast.
Yeah, about taking food from my mouth.
Exactly.
We're monetizing this podcast. Today's sponsor is soda.
Just the entire
All
concept of
soda.
soda, not even
Yeah.
a specific brand.
Nope, all soda.
Sponsored personally
We're
by
gonna
Soda
every single
Popinski from
company that
Punch
makes
Out.
soda. Yeah.
Soda
We can
Popovsky.
include him, yeah.
We're Soda
Soda
Popovsky.
Popinski. Yeah, soda. That's his brother.
That's his brother. His way more successful brother, mind you. He's really
Well, yeah,
gone
no,
far in life.
he's a rap artist.
It's true. It's true.
Quite popular.
He's Soda popular.
Yeah. And it's actually very amazing for a Russian man to become a rap artist because, as you know, the Russian
Well, the body
doesn't
language
have
is
that
evocative,
ability.
though. He invented
But it's hard to
dancing
convey
rap.
body language over the radio.
Well, it's just so potent that you can just kind of sense it.
It's that good.
It's that good. I think that's a good note to end on.
Yeah. All right. See ya.
Bye.